The Love Language Blueprint, Enhancing Your Relationships, written and published by Audiobook. Introduction: The Power of Love and Connection. Why relationships matter. Human beings are wired for connection. From the moment we are born, our survival and emotional well-being depend on our ability to form bonds with others. Whether it's the embrace of a parent, the encouragement of a teacher, the laughter of a friend, or the romantic love of a partner, relationships shape our lives in profound ways. Despite this fundamental need, many people struggle to cultivate deep, fulfilling connections. Miscommunication, unmet expectations, and emotional distance can create barriers that prevent relationships from thriving. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are everywhere and genuine connection often takes a backseat, understanding how to express and receive love effectively has never been more crucial. This book is designed to help you do just that. By unlocking the secrets of love languages, you will gain powerful tools to strengthen your relationships, deepen emotional bonds, and create a more fulfilling life. The role of communication and emotional intelligence. At the heart of every successful relationship is effective communication. Yet, even when two people love each other deeply, they can still feel disconnected if they express love in ways the other person does not recognize or value. This is where emotional intelligence plays a vital role. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage both our emotions and the emotions of others. It allows us to empathize, communicate effectively, and respond to our loved ones in ways that nurture the relationship rather than strain it. When we develop emotional intelligence, we become more attuned to the needs of those around us, fostering stronger and more meaningful connections. The key to mastering emotional intelligence in relationships is learning how love is expressed and received uniquely by different individuals. This is where love languages come into play. The 5 love languages, a blueprint for stronger connections. The concept of love languages was first introduced by Dr. Gary Chapman in his groundbreaking book, The 5 Love Languages: How to Express Heartfelt Commitment to Your Mate. His research revealed that people give and receive love in 5 primary ways. Words of affirmation, expressing love through verbal appreciation, compliments, and encouraging words. Acts of service, showing love by doing helpful or thoughtful actions for someone. Receiving gifts, giving or receiving meaningful gifts as a symbol of love and appreciation. Quality time, spending undivided, meaningful time together to strengthen emotional bonds. Physical touch, expressing love through physical connection, such as hugs, hand-holding, or other forms of affectionate touch. Each person has a primary love language, one that speaks most deeply to their heart. The challenge in relationships arises when two people have different love languages. A husband might feel deeply loved when his wife expresses words of encouragement, but she may feel most loved when he completes acts of service for her. Without awareness of these differences, partners may express love in ways that do not resonate with each other, leading to frustration and miscommunication. The purpose of this book is to help you not only identify your own love language, but also understand and adapt to the love languages of those around you. When you apply this knowledge, you will experience a transformation in your relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic. What you will learn in this book. Throughout this book, we will explore each of the 5 love languages in depth. You will learn how to identify your own love language and that of your loved ones. The scientific research and psychological principles behind each love language. Real-life case studies that illustrate how love languages have strengthened relationships. Practical exercises to help you implement love language principles in your daily life. Common challenges in love language dynamics and how to overcome them. How to use love languages to heal relationships, repair emotional wounds, and build deeper trust. This book is not just about theory. It is a practical guide that will provide actionable steps to enhance your relationships. Why this book matters. The quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. Studies have shown that people with strong, supportive relationships live longer, experience less stress, and report higher levels of happiness and satisfaction. However, building these kinds of relationships requires effort, self-awareness, and the willingness to grow. The knowledge you will gain in this book is not just for romantic relationships. The principles of love languages apply to all areas of life, including friendships, parent-child relationships, workplace interactions, and self-love. By understanding how love languages function, you will be able to navigate conflicts more effectively, express appreciation in ways that resonate with others, and create deeper, more fulfilling connections. Whether you are seeking to strengthen an existing relationship, repair a strained bond, or simply improve the way you express love, this book will serve as your blueprint for success. Chapter 1. The Foundation of Love Languages. The Origin of Love Languages. The concept of love languages may feel like a modern relationship trend, but the truth is, the idea of expressing love in different ways has been around for centuries. Anthropologists, psychologists, and relationship experts have long studied the diverse ways humans show affection, dating back to ancient civilizations. In ancient Rome, love was often demonstrated through acts of devotion, such as gladiators fighting in the name of their beloved. In medieval Europe, knights proved their love through acts of chivalry, while poetry and music were used as expressions of devotion. Across cultures and time periods, people have developed distinct ways of showing and receiving love, yet the underlying principle remains the same. Love is a language, and like any language, it must be understood and spoken correctly. Dr. Gary Chapman, a renowned marriage counselor and relationship expert, synthesized these ideas into a simple yet profound framework. Through decades of working with couples, he noticed a recurring pattern. Many relationship conflicts arose not from a lack of love, but from a misunderstanding of how love was expressed and received. Some partners would shower their spouse with gifts, only to find that their efforts went unnoticed. Others would offer words of encouragement, but their partner would still feel unloved. Chapman realized that people have distinct emotional preferences when it comes to feeling loved, and these preferences fall into 5 primary categories, what we now call love languages. His book, The 5 Love Languages, became a global phenomenon, helping millions of people improve their relationships by understanding and speaking the right love language. Why do love languages matter? Imagine traveling to a foreign country where no one speaks your native language. You might try to communicate through gestures, facial expressions, or simple words, but without a shared language, misunderstandings are inevitable. Relationships work the same way. Each person has a unique way of expressing and receiving love. When partners, family members, or friends do not share the same love language, they may struggle to recognize each other's expressions of love. This can lead to frustration, resentment, and emotional distance, not because the love is absent, but because it is not being communicated effectively. Studies in psychology and neuroscience show that when people feel understood and emotionally connected, their relationships thrive. Research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships suggests that couples who actively practice each other's love languages report higher relationship satisfaction and stronger emotional intimacy than those who do not. Love languages matter because they provide a roadmap for expressing love in ways that are meaningful and impactful. When people learn to speak the right love language, their relationships transform, becoming deeper, more fulfilling, and more resilient. How to identify your love language. Before we explore each love language in depth, it's important to identify your own primary love language. While most people appreciate all 5 love languages to some degree, each individual has 1 or 2 dominant love languages that resonate the most. Here are some questions to help you determine your love language. When you feel most loved, what usually causes that feeling? Is it when someone gives you a heartfelt compliment? When they spend quality time with you? When they help you with a task? How do you naturally express love to others? Do you often give gifts? Offer words of encouragement? Enjoy physical affection? What do you tend to complain about in relationships? If you frequently feel unappreciated because your partner doesn't say "I love you," your primary love language might be words of affirmation. If you feel disconnected because they don't spend enough time with you, it might be quality time. Many people are unaware of their primary love language until they reflect on their emotional needs and past relationship patterns. Identifying your love language is the first step in transforming your relationships. The 5 love languages, a breakdown. Each love language represents a different way people express and receive love. Below is an overview of the 5 love languages that we will explore in greater depth in the following chapters. Words of affirmation. Love is expressed through verbal appreciation, encouragement, and compliments. People who value this love language thrive on hearing positive affirmations and words of encouragement. Acts of service. Love is demonstrated through thoughtful actions and helping with responsibilities. People with this love language feel most loved when their partner does things to ease their burden. Receiving gifts. Love is represented by meaningful gifts that show thoughtfulness and appreciation. This love language is not about materialism, but about the sentiment behind the gift. Quality time. Love is felt through undivided attention and meaningful interactions. People with this love language need focused, quality moments together. Physical touch. Love is expressed through physical closeness, such as hugging, holding hands, or affectionate gestures. For these individuals, touch fosters emotional security and intimacy. Each of these love languages is equally important, but the key to a successful relationship is learning to express love in the way your partner best understands it. The science behind love languages. Psychological research supports the idea that different people process love in different ways. Studies in attachment theory suggest that the way we experience love is deeply connected to our early childhood relationships. People who grew up in verbally expressive households may find comfort in words of affirmation. Those raised in nurturing, service-oriented families may feel love most through acts of service. If a person experienced warmth and security through physical closeness, they may develop physical touch as their primary love language. Additionally, neuroscience has found that oxytocin, the bonding hormone, plays a crucial role in how we experience connection. Acts of kindness, affectionate touch, and verbal affirmations all trigger oxytocin production, reinforcing emotional bonds. Understanding the biological and psychological aspects of love languages gives us insight into why certain expressions of love feel more fulfilling than others. Overcoming love language differences. One of the biggest challenges in relationships is when two partners have different primary love languages. A wife who values acts of service may feel unloved when her husband writes her love notes, words of affirmation, instead of helping with household chores. A husband who values physical touch may feel distant when his wife buys him gifts, receiving gifts, instead of showing affection through hugs or hand-holding. The key to overcoming love language differences is awareness and adaptability. Instead of focusing on how you prefer to express love, shift your mindset to understanding how your partner best receives love. Practical steps to bridge love language gaps include observation. Pay attention to what makes your partner light up. Do they react positively to words, actions, gifts, time, or touch? Communication. Have an open conversation about your love languages and express your needs clearly. Compromise. Even if a love language doesn't come naturally to you, making an effort to express it will strengthen your relationship. When both partners are committed to learning and speaking each other's love language, relationships flourish. Conclusion. The first step toward deeper connection. Understanding love languages is a powerful tool for enhancing relationships, but knowledge alone is not enough. To truly transform your connections, you must take intentional action. Now that you have a foundational understanding of love languages, the next chapters will guide you through each love language in depth, providing practical strategies, scientific insights, and real-world applications. The journey to stronger, more fulfilling relationships begins here. Are you ready to discover the power of your love language? Let's dive into Chapter 2, where we explore the first love language, words of affirmation. Chapter 2, Words of Affirmation, the Power of Verbal Expression. The impact of words on emotional connection. Words have the power to build or break relationships. The way we speak to our loved ones, our tone, choice of words, and expressions, shapes how they perceive our affection. For individuals whose primary love language is words of affirmation, verbal communication is the key to feeling valued and cherished. Imagine a couple where one partner frequently expresses gratitude and appreciation, while the other remains silent, believing their love should be understood without needing to say it. Over time, the lack of verbal affirmation can leave the words of affirmation partner feeling unloved, insecure, or taken for granted, even if their partner deeply cares for them. Psychologists have long studied the effects of words on relationships. Research published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who express verbal appreciation experience higher levels of satisfaction and longevity in their relationships. Words not only validate our emotions, but also reinforce trust, security, and emotional intimacy. If words of affirmation is your partner's love language, mastering the art of verbal appreciation can profoundly strengthen your relationship. Why some people value words more than others. The way we perceive words of affirmation is often shaped by our upbringing and personal experiences. Consider these examples. A child raised in an encouraging household. If someone grew up hearing frequent affirmations like, "I'm proud of you," or "You are so loved," they may develop a strong emotional attachment to verbal praise. A person who experienced verbal neglect, on the other hand, someone who rarely heard words of encouragement growing up may crave verbal affirmations as an adult, compensating for the lack they experienced in childhood. Previous relationship experiences. If an individual was in a past relationship where their partner rarely expressed verbal affection, they may place a high value on hearing affirmations in a new relationship. These factors contribute to why some people require verbal expressions of love to feel truly valued, while others may see words as less significant compared to actions. Understanding this individual difference is essential in relationships. Even if verbal affirmation does not come naturally to you, learning to express love through words can make a meaningful difference in your partner's emotional well-being. The science behind verbal affirmations. Verbal affirmations go beyond simple compliments. They impact the brain on a neurological level. The power of dopamine. Neuroscientists have discovered that hearing positive affirmations stimulates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, the feel-good chemical. This creates a sense of happiness, validation, and motivation, reducing stress and anxiety. A study in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that individuals who receive frequent verbal affirmations experience lower stress levels and greater resilience in emotional conflicts. The influence of repetition. The human brain internalizes repeated affirmations. This is why hearing "I love you" or "You are important to me" consistently reinforces a person's sense of security in a relationship. If your partner's love language is words of affirmation, they don't just want to hear words of love. They need to hear them regularly to feel emotionally secure. Practical ways to express words of affirmation. If your partner thrives on words of affirmation, here are some powerful ways to incorporate verbal expressions of love into your relationship. 1. Speak with specific praise. Instead of saying generic phrases like, "You're great," make your words more personal and meaningful. "I love how passionate you are about your work. It inspires me. I appreciate the way you always listen to me when I need support. You are such a caring and thoughtful person. I feel lucky to have you." The more specific and genuine your words, the more impact they will have. 2. Express gratitude often. People who value words of affirmation also appreciate acknowledgement for their efforts. "Thank you for always being there for me. I really appreciate everything you do for our family. It means so much to me that you support my dreams." Even small expressions of gratitude can strengthen emotional bonds. 3. Leave love notes. If spoken words don't come naturally, writing is an excellent alternative. Leave sticky notes on the fridge, write a heartfelt letter, or send a meaningful text. "I just wanted to remind you how amazing you are. Thinking about you today and feeling so grateful for you." Small, unexpected notes can have a lasting impact on someone who values words. 4. Compliment in public and private. Public affirmations increase confidence and show appreciation. If your partner enjoys social recognition, don't hesitate to express admiration in front of friends or family. "I'm so proud of my partner. They work so hard and always give their best. One of the things I admire about them is their kindness." However, private affirmations are just as important. Make sure your partner hears direct words of encouragement in one-on-one settings as well. 5. Encourage their dreams and aspirations. For a words of affirmation person, encouragement is motivational fuel. Express belief in their abilities. "I know you can do this. You're incredibly talented. I admire your dedication and passion. You have a gift, and the world needs more of it." Feeling supported in their goals reinforces emotional security in the relationship. Common mistakes to avoid. If your partner values words of affirmation, certain actions can unintentionally damage the relationship. Harsh criticism, negative words cut deeper for people who rely on verbal validation. Be mindful of how you deliver feedback. Ignoring verbal needs. If they frequently express appreciation, yet you rarely reciprocate, they may feel unappreciated. Insincere praise. Words must be genuine. Empty compliments feel meaningless to someone who values verbal affirmation. Lack of consistency. Saying, "I love you," once in a while is not enough. Regular verbal expressions are essential for someone who thrives on words. Being aware of these common mistakes will help you communicate more effectively and prevent emotional disconnect. Case study. A relationship transformed by words. The problem. Emma and Jake had been in a relationship for 5 years, but Emma often felt unappreciated. She frequently told Jake how much she loved him, but he rarely responded with verbal affirmations. Instead, Jake expressed love through acts of service, fixing things around the house or running errands for her. However, Emma still felt an emotional gap. The solution. After learning about love languages, Jake realized Emma's primary love language was words of affirmation. He made an effort to verbalize his appreciation daily, telling her how much he loved and admired her. He also started writing small love notes and texting her thoughtful messages throughout the day. The outcome. Emma's emotional security skyrocketed. She felt more loved than ever, and in return, she began appreciating Jake's love language of acts of service. Their relationship became stronger, more affectionate, and deeply connected. Conclusion. The transformative power of words. If words of affirmation is your partner's primary love language, the words you choose can shape their emotional experience. Thoughtful expressions of love, gratitude, and encouragement will make them feel valued and strengthen the emotional foundation of your relationship. In the next chapter, we will explore acts of service, the love language of action over words. Understanding this powerful language will help you express love in a way that deepens connection and builds trust. Are you ready to discover the next step in the love language blueprint? Let's continue. Chapter 3. Acts of Service, Showing Love Through Actions. Love in action. Why acts of service matter. Love is not just about words, it's about action. For some people, actions speak louder than words when it comes to feeling loved. If acts of service is your primary love language, you feel most valued when your partner does things that make your life easier, more enjoyable, or less stressful. Imagine a couple where one partner constantly says, "I love you," but never follows through on promises or commitments. Over time, the words of affirmation lose their meaning because they are not backed by action. This is why acts of service people need to see love demonstrated through tangible effort. Dr. Gary Chapman describes acts of service as doing things you know your partner would appreciate, not because you have to, but because you want to. It's about helpfulness, support, and making an intentional effort to meet your partner's needs. For people who value this love language, a well-cooked meal, a cleaned-up kitchen, or help with an overwhelming task can mean more than 1,000 I love yous. The psychology behind acts of service. Acts of service is deeply rooted in psychological and cultural conditioning. People who prioritize this love language often grew up in environments where love was shown through actions rather than words or gifts. Associate effort and reliability with emotional security. Feel most connected when their partner takes initiative to help without being asked. Studies in relationship psychology suggest that people who experience consistent acts of kindness and service in their relationships develop higher levels of trust, satisfaction, and emotional bonding. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that people who feel supported by their partners in everyday tasks experience greater intimacy and lower relationship stress. This is because acts of service directly reduce burdens, enhance teamwork, and foster emotional connection. Common ways to express acts of service. If your partner's love language is acts of service, they deeply appreciate efforts that make their life easier or bring them joy. Here are some meaningful ways to express love through actions. 1. Helping with daily responsibilities. Taking care of household chores without being asked. Running errands your partner doesn't have time for. Preparing meals or making their favorite coffee in the morning. 2. Supporting their goals and ambitions. Assisting with a project they are passionate about. Helping them with their studies, business, or creative work. Encouraging them by removing distractions or offering resources. 3. Taking initiative without waiting to be asked. filling up their car with gas if you notice it's low, fixing something around the house before they mention it, surprising them by completing a task they've been procrastinating on. 4. Providing comfort and care in difficult moments, bringing them soup and medicine when they're sick, offering to take care of responsibilities when they are overwhelmed, doing something special to relieve their stress, like drawing a bath or setting up a relaxing evening. For someone who speaks the acts of service love language, small, thoughtful actions demonstrate care, commitment, and reliability, far more than words or gifts ever could. Acts of service in different relationship types. Acts of service is not just for romantic relationships. This love language also plays a significant role in friendships, family bonds, and even professional relationships. 1. Acts of service in friendships. Helping a friend move or set up their new home, bringing them food when they are sick or having a tough day, offering to babysit their kids when they need a break. 2. Acts of service in family relationships. Cooking a meal for an elderly parent or sibling, helping your children with their homework or hobbies, taking care of responsibilities to reduce stress on family members. 3. Acts of service in the workplace. Supporting a coworker by helping with a heavy workload, offering assistance in a stressful project without expecting anything in return, bringing coffee or snacks to brighten the office atmosphere. Understanding acts of service beyond romantic relationships allows you to strengthen all areas of your life by being more mindful of the ways people feel appreciated. Common mistakes to avoid. If your partner values acts of service, here are some key mistakes to avoid that could unintentionally cause frustration. Ignoring requests for help. If they have asked for help multiple times and you consistently forget or delay, they may feel unimportant. Doing things begrudgingly. Acts of service should come from a place of love, not obligation. If you complain about helping, it can make them feel guilty or burdensome. Prioritizing words over actions, saying, "I'll do it later," without following through erodes trust for an acts of service person. They need to see consistent action. Assuming small acts don't matter. Even the simplest gestures hold deep emotional value for someone whose love language is acts of service. Avoiding these pitfalls ensures that your actions positively reinforce love instead of creating unintended emotional distance. Case study: a relationship strengthened by acts of service. The problem: David and Michelle had been dating for 2 years. Michelle constantly expressed frustration that David didn't seem to care enough, even though he frequently told her he loved her. David was confused. He verbally reassured Michelle often, but she still felt distant. The solution: after discussing love languages, David realized Michelle's primary love language was acts of service. Instead of only saying, "I love you," he started doing things that made her life easier. Picking up groceries without being asked, helping with tasks she found stressful, and surprising her by washing her car. The outcome: Michelle felt more emotionally connected than ever. Her frustration faded as David's actions spoke louder than words. In return, she made more of an effort to express love in David's preferred love language, words of affirmation. This shift transformed their relationship, proving that understanding love languages can bridge emotional gaps and create deeper connections. Conclusion: love is in the actions. For people whose love language is acts of service, love is not about what you say, it's about what you do. Consistent, thoughtful actions that ease their burden and show reliability are the key to making them feel cherished. As we move forward in the love language blueprint, the next chapter will explore receiving gifts, a love language often misunderstood as materialistic but, in reality, deeply rooted in symbolism, thoughtfulness, and emotional connection. Are you ready to discover the hidden meaning behind gift giving as a love language? Let's continue. Chapter 4. Receiving Gifts, the Symbolism of Thoughtfulness. More than just material things, the true meaning of gifts in love. Many people misunderstand the love language of receiving gifts, assuming it is about materialism or valuing money over emotions. However, this love language is not about the price of a gift. It's about the thought, effort, and symbolism behind it. For people whose primary love language is receiving gifts, every gift represents a visible symbol of love and affection, a tangible reminder of emotional connection, proof that their loved one thought about them, even when apart. A person with this love language does not necessarily expect expensive or extravagant presents. What matters most is that the gift carries meaning and emotional significance. It can be as simple as a handwritten note, a flower picked on a walk, or a book chosen because it reminded you of them. The psychology of gift-giving in relationships. Gift-giving is a universal expression of love that has existed across cultures for centuries. Anthropologists have found that in nearly every society, giving and receiving gifts plays a crucial role in building trust, strengthening bonds, and marking important life moments. Psychologists who study romantic relationships have found that people who receive frequent, meaningful gifts feel more secure and valued in their relationship. Gifts serve as reminders of love, reinforcing emotional connection even when partners are apart. A study in the Journal of Social Psychology found that gift-giving activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and creating feelings of joy and appreciation. This is why people with this love language cherish and hold on to gifts for years. Each one carries an emotional memory. If your partner values receiving gifts, it is not about the material possession but the emotion behind it. Thoughtful gifts make them feel cherished because they represent time, effort, and love. How to show love through receiving gifts. If your partner's love language is receiving gifts, here are some meaningful ways to express love through gift giving. 1. Give gifts that show you are thinking of them. A souvenir from a trip, even if it's small. A book on a topic they love. A snack they mention craving. 2. Surprise them with small tokens of love. Bringing home their favorite dessert. Leaving a meaningful keepsake on their desk or pillow. Sending flowers just because. 3. Celebrate milestones with meaningful gifts. Handwritten letters for anniversaries. Personalized gifts that represent your relationship. Memory-based gifts, such as a framed picture of a special moment. 4. Value thought over price. A heartfelt, homemade gift is often more meaningful than something expensive but impersonal. The act of choosing something meaningful shows care and appreciation. For someone who speaks the receiving gift's love language, gifts are emotional symbols that say, "I love you, I thought about you, and I appreciate you." The importance of thoughtfulness in gift giving. For a person who values gifts, the most painful thing is a thoughtless or last-minute present. They can often sense when a gift was given out of obligation rather than love. Here are some common mistakes to avoid. Forgetting special occasions. Missing birthdays or anniversaries can feel like a sign of neglect. Giving generic gifts. A person with this love language values gifts that are personal and thoughtful. Only giving expensive gifts. It's not about the money. It's about the meaning behind the gift. A meaningful gift doesn't have to cost much. It just has to show that you were thinking of them and understand what matters to them. Receiving gifts beyond romantic relationships. Like other love languages, receiving gifts is not just limited to romantic relationships. It plays a significant role in friendships, family dynamics, and even professional relationships. In friendships, small, unexpected gifts, a coffee, a meaningful book, a handmade bracelet, can show appreciation and deepen bonds. In family relationships, parents who save childhood drawings, letters, or small mementos demonstrate love in a tangible way. In professional settings, thoughtful gifts can strengthen connections between coworkers, employees, and business partners. Understanding this love language in all areas of life can help you build stronger, more meaningful connections with those around you. Case study. A relationship strengthened by receiving gifts. The problem. Mark and Rachel had been married for 4 years, but Rachel often felt unappreciated. Mark showed love through acts of service, fixing things around the house and helping with chores. However, Rachel's primary love language was receiving gifts. She often felt overlooked when Mark didn't bring back souvenirs from business trips or forgot her birthday. The solution? After discovering love languages, Mark realized how important thoughtful gifts were to Rachel. He started making small efforts, bringing her favorite chocolate from the store, surprising her with flowers on random days, and leaving handwritten notes when he traveled. The outcome? Rachel felt more loved and cherished than ever. The small but thoughtful gifts made her feel seen and appreciated, strengthening their bond. In return, she made more of an effort to show love through acts of service, which was Mark's love language. By understanding each other's needs, They transform their relationship into one of mutual appreciation and emotional fulfillment. Conclusion: the gift of love. For someone whose love language is receiving gifts, every meaningful token is a symbol of love and appreciation. It is not about materialism. It is about thoughtfulness, effort, and emotional connection. In the next chapter, we will explore quality time, the love language that values presence, deep conversations, and uninterrupted attention. If your partner's love language is quality time, learning how to be fully present will help you build a stronger, deeper connection. Are you ready to discover the power of undivided attention in relationships? Let's continue. Chapter 5: Quality Time, the Importance of Presence. Why quality time matters in relationships. In a world filled with distractions, social media, work pressures, endless notifications, spending genuine, undivided time with loved ones has become increasingly rare. For people whose primary love language is quality time, nothing says "I love you" more than your full attention, meaningful conversations, and shared experiences. If your partner values quality time, they don't just want to be in the same room with you. They want to feel seen, heard, and prioritized. They crave deep, uninterrupted conversations, shared experiences and adventures, undivided attention without distractions. For them, love is not just about words or gifts. It's about the time you invest in them. The psychology behind quality time. The concept of quality time is rooted in the psychological principle of emotional presence, the ability to be fully engaged in the moment with another person. Studies in relationship psychology show that couples who spend consistent, meaningful time together report higher relationship satisfaction, stronger emotional intimacy, better communication, and conflict resolution skills. Research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that partners who engage in uninterrupted quality time at least once a week experience greater long-term happiness than those who do not. Quality time strengthens bonding and attachment by increasing oxytocin, the hormone responsible for emotional connection and trust. For someone whose love language is quality time, your presence is the most valuable gift you can give. How to show love through quality time. If your partner thrives on quality time, here are some meaningful ways to express love. 1. Engage in deep, meaningful conversations. Ask open-ended questions and actively listen. Share your thoughts, dreams, and feelings without distractions. Show genuine interest in what they are saying. 2. Plan intentional date nights. Schedule uninterrupted one-on-one time. Explore new experiences together. Travel, cooking, hiking. Make it a habit to dedicate regular time for each other. 3. Practice active listening. Maintain eye contact and be fully present. Avoid checking your phone or multitasking. Respond thoughtfully instead of just waiting to speak. 4. Create tech-free zones. Set aside time where both of you put away devices. Focus solely on enjoying each other's company. 5. Engage in shared activities. Cook meals together. Watch a movie or read a book as a couple. Take up a hobby or learn something new as a team. Quality time doesn't require extravagant gestures. What matters is your genuine, uninterrupted presence. Common mistakes that can hurt a quality time person. If your partner values quality time, certain actions can unintentionally make them feel unimportant or disconnected. Being physically present but emotionally absent. Sitting together while scrolling on your phone does not count as quality time. Canceling or postponing planned time together. This can make them feel neglected or deprioritized. Constant multitasking during conversations. Dividing attention between them and work or social media signals that they are not a priority. Forgetting small moments of connection. Even short, meaningful interactions throughout the day strengthen emotional bonds. Understanding what hurts a quality time person helps ensure that your time together is meaningful and fulfilling. Quality time in different relationship types. Quality time is a love language that extends beyond romantic relationships. It is essential in friendships, family dynamics, and even professional relationships. 1. Quality time in friendships. Checking in regularly with undistracted conversations. Planning outings or experiences to strengthen the bond. 2. Quality time in family relationships. Setting aside time for family dinners without screens. Engaging in activities like board games or storytelling. 3. quality time in the workplace, having focused, meaningful discussions with coworkers, creating spaces for genuine human connection beyond tasks. Spending dedicated, undistracted time strengthens relationships in every area of life. Case study: a relationship strengthened by quality time. The problem: Lisa and Michael had been married for 6 years, but Lisa often felt disconnected from Michael. He was always busy with work, and even when they were together, he was distracted by emails and phone calls. Lisa's primary love language was quality time, but Michael didn't realize how much she needed his full presence. The solution: after learning about love languages, Michael started scheduling regular date nights, setting aside his phone during conversations, and actively listening when Lisa spoke. He also began engaging in activities she loved, like evening walks and weekend getaways. The outcome: Lisa felt more valued and connected than ever. Their relationship flourished, and in return, Lisa made more of an effort to express love in Michael's love language, acts of service. This change deepened their emotional bond and revitalized their marriage. Conclusion: the gift of presence. For someone whose love language is quality time, your undivided attention is the greatest expression of love. It's not about how much time you spend together, it's about the quality of that time. In the next chapter, we will explore physical touch, the love language of nonverbal connection, affection, and emotional intimacy. Are you ready to discover the power of physical closeness in relationships? Let's continue. Chapter 6: Physical Touch, the Power of Nonverbal Connection. Why physical touch matters in relationships. Physical touch is one of the most primal and instinctive forms of communication. Long before we develop language, we experience love, comfort, and connection through touch. A baby feels secure in their mother's embrace. A child feels reassured with a pat on the back, and a couple deepens their bond through physical closeness. For people whose primary love language is physical touch, affection is best expressed through hugs, hand-holding, cuddling, and other forms of nonverbal intimacy. It's not about sexuality alone. It's about feeling safe, loved, and emotionally connected through touch. When a physical touch person does not receive enough affectionate contact, they may feel isolated, unloved, or emotionally distant, even if their partner expresses love in other ways. To them, physical presence and affectionate gestures are essential for emotional security. The science behind physical touch. Touch is biologically wired into human connection. Research shows that physical touch reduces stress, strengthens emotional bonds, and promotes feelings of safety and trust. Oxytocin release. Physical touch triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which enhances trust and deepens relationships. Lower stress levels. A study in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found that affectionate touch reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, leading to increased well-being. Pain and anxiety reduction. Research in neurology shows that touch activates brain pathways that reduce pain and anxiety, fostering emotional comfort. For people who value physical touch, affectionate gestures act as a direct emotional lifeline. A simple touch can reaffirm love and security in ways that words cannot. How to show love through physical touch. If your partner's love language is physical touch, here are ways to express love that resonate deeply with them. 1. Everyday affectionate gestures. Holding hands while walking together. Hugging or kissing when greeting or saying goodbye. Resting a hand on their shoulder or back during conversations. 2. Cuddling and physical closeness. Sitting close while watching a movie. Lying next to each other while talking. Offering comforting touches, such as stroking their hair or rubbing their back. 3. Spontaneous acts of touch. Giving surprise hugs or kisses. Reaching for their hand in public. Light touches on the arm or cheek during conversations. 4. Non-sexual touch that reinforces connection. Playing with their fingers, face, or hair. Giving affectionate squeezes or small nudges. Wrapping an arm around their waist or shoulders. For a physical touch person, these small acts are not trivial. They are essential to feeling connected and loved. Common mistakes to avoid. If your partner's love language is physical touch, certain behaviors can unintentionally make them feel unloved or disconnected. Withholding affection after a disagreement. Physical touch people find comfort in reassuring touch, even after conflicts. Neglecting daily affectionate contact, they may interpret a lack of touch as emotional distance. Only expressing touch in sexual contexts. While intimacy is important, non-sexual touch is just as meaningful. Being mindful of these can prevent emotional gaps and strengthen connection. Physical touch in different relationship types. While physical touch is often associated with romantic relationships, it is important in friendships, family bonds, and even professional settings. 1. Physical touch in friendships. Hugs or pats on the back as signs of support. Playful, friendly touches like high fives. 2. Physical touch in family relationships. Parents showing love through hugs and cuddles. Holding hands with a child to provide comfort and security. 3. Physical touch in the workplace. A supportive pat on the back or handshake. Light, appropriate gestures of encouragement. Touch, when used appropriately and consensually, can enhance relationships in all areas of life. Case study. A relationship strengthened by physical touch. The problem. Rebecca and Tom had been married for 10 years, but Rebecca felt emotionally distant. Tom frequently showed love through words of affirmation, but Rebecca's primary love language was physical touch. She often felt unfulfilled because Tom rarely initiated hugs, cuddles, or affectionate gestures. The solution. After learning about love languages, Tom made a conscious effort to increase physical affection in their daily life. He started hugging Rebecca first thing in the morning, holding her hand while walking, and cuddling with her during their evening conversations. The outcome. Rebecca felt more emotionally connected than ever. The simple increase in physical affection transformed their marriage, reinforcing her emotional security. In return, she became more expressive with words of affirmation, which was Tom's love language. This shift created a stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling relationship. Conclusion. The language of touch. For people who value physical touch, affection is not just a preference, it is a fundamental need. Consistent, meaningful touch fosters emotional security, deepens connection, and strengthens love. In the next chapter, we will explore understanding and adapting to your partner's love language, a crucial step in creating lasting, fulfilling relationships. Are you ready to learn how to navigate love language differences and create deeper emotional harmony? Let's continue. Chapter 7. Understanding and adapting to your partner's love language. Why understanding love languages is key to relationship success. Love is often given with the best intentions, yet many people still feel unappreciated or disconnected in their relationships. The reason? They are not receiving love in the way that resonates with them most. Imagine two partners. One constantly buys gifts to show love, but the other craves quality time instead. One showers their partner with physical affection, but the other feels most loved through acts of service. Without recognizing these differences, even the most loving efforts can feel empty. Learning to understand and adapt to your partner's love language is one of the most powerful ways to build emotional intimacy, trust, and long-term connection. Why love languages differ. People develop different love languages based on their upbringing, experiences, and emotional needs. Factors that shape love language preferences include childhood experiences. A child raised in a verbally affectionate household may value words of affirmation, while another raised in a service-oriented family may feel love most through acts of service. Cultural influences. Some cultures emphasize physical touch as an expression of affection, while others show love through gift-giving or shared meals. Past relationship patterns. Someone who lacked emotional support in a previous relationship may deeply crave quality time or words of affirmation in their next one. Understanding these influences helps us become more compassionate and adaptable in expressing love in the way our partner understands best. How to identify your partner's love language. Even if your partner hasn't taken the love language test, there are clear signs that reveal what makes them feel most loved. 1. Observe how they express love. People often give love in the way they wish to receive it. If your partner frequently compliments you, they likely value words of affirmation. Does things for you, cooking, running errands, they may prefer acts of service. Gives thoughtful gifts, they likely appreciate receiving gifts. Prioritizes spending time with you, their love language may be quality time. Enjoys physical closeness, they likely value physical touch. 2. Notice what they complain about. A person's emotional frustrations often highlight their unmet love language needs. You never tell me you love me. Words of affirmation. I feel like I do everything for you. Acts of service. You never plan time for just us. Quality time. You never hold my hand anymore. Physical touch. It feels like you don't care when you don't get me anything for my birthday. Receiving gifts. 3. Pay attention to what they request most. Can we spend more time together? Quality time. Can you help me with this? Acts of service. Can you say something nice about what I did? Words of affirmation. Can I have a hug? Physical touch. I love when you bring me little surprises. Receiving gifts. Recognizing what your partner craves most helps you speak their love language more fluently. How to adapt to a love language that isn't natural for you. It's common for partners to have different primary love languages. But rather than expecting your partner to adapt to yours, learning to express love in their preferred way strengthens the relationship. Here's how to adapt when your partner's love language is different from yours. 1. Make a conscious effort. If you're not naturally verbal but your partner needs words of affirmation, start with simple compliments or gratitude statements. If you're not touchy but your partner thrives on physical touch, make an effort to offer hugs, hand-holding, or playful touches. 2. Set reminders to be consistent. If gift-giving is not your strength, set reminders for special occasions. If quality time is their love language, schedule uninterrupted moments together. 3. Communicate and ask for guidance. What makes you feel most loved? How can I show love in a way that means the most to you? 4. Be willing to step out of your comfort zone. It may feel unnatural at first, but learning your partner's love language is a sign of care and commitment. The goal is not to change who you are, but to show love in a way that truly resonates with your partner. What to do if your love languages clash? When love languages differ significantly, it can create misunderstandings. Here's how to navigate love language differences. Scenario 1. One partner values physical touch, the other doesn't. The physical touch person might feel unloved when there's little affection. The non-touch partner might feel overwhelmed by constant physical closeness. Solution: find a middle ground. Start with small touches, holding hands, brief hugs, and build comfort over time. Scenario 2. One partner loves quality time, the other is always busy. The quality time partner may feel neglected. The busy partner may feel pressured or guilty. Solution: even short, dedicated moments, 15-minute coffee chats, a quick evening walk, can fulfill the need for connection. Scenario 3. One partner prefers words of affirmation, the other expresses love through actions. The verbal partner may feel unappreciated when their partner doesn't say "I love you" often. The action-based partner may feel frustrated that their efforts go unnoticed. Solution: the words of affirmation person can acknowledge actions more, while the action-based partner can make an effort to verbalize appreciation. Understanding and respecting each other's love languages is the key to harmony. Case study: a relationship strengthened by love language adaptation. The problem: James and Emily had been dating for 3 years. James valued acts of service, often fixing things and helping Emily with tasks. Emily, however, needed quality time and felt distant because James was always busy. The solution: after learning about love languages, James started prioritizing one-on-one time, even short moments like morning coffee together. Emily, in return, began appreciating James's acts of service more openly, recognizing them as expressions of love. The outcome: their relationship transformed. Emily felt more emotionally connected, and James felt appreciated for his efforts. Their bond became stronger than ever. Conclusion: love is about understanding, not just effort. Love is not just about how much effort you put in. It's about expressing that effort in a way your partner understands. By learning and adapting to each other's love languages, couples bridge emotional gaps, reduce misunderstandings, and create deeper, more fulfilling relationships. In the next chapter, we'll explore how love languages extend beyond romantic relationships, in friendships, family, and even the workplace. Are you ready to discover how to enhance every relationship in your life through love languages? Let's continue. Chapter 8. Love Languages Beyond Romantic Relationships. The Universal Power of Love Languages. Love is not confined to romantic relationships. While we often associate love languages with couples, they also play a vital role in friendships, family bonds, workplace relationships, and even self-love. Understanding how love languages function outside of romance can help you strengthen friendships by showing appreciation in ways that matter. Improve family relationships by understanding how relatives express love. Enhance workplace dynamics by fostering better communication and support. Practice self-love by identifying and fulfilling your own emotional needs. When you recognize and apply love languages in all areas of life, your connections become deeper, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. Love languages in friendships. Friendships thrive on mutual understanding and effort. Just like in romantic relationships, friendships benefit from recognizing and respecting love languages. Here's how different love languages manifest in friendships. Words of affirmation. Encouraging texts, genuine compliments, expressing appreciation. Acts of service. Helping a friend move, offering assistance during tough times. Receiving gifts, thoughtful small presents, remembering birthdays. Quality time. Planning get-togethers, making time for deep conversations. Physical touch. Hugs, playful nudges, high fives. Example. Sarah and Mia had been best friends for over a decade. Sarah often felt distant because Mia rarely reached out with encouraging words. When Sarah realized her love language was words of affirmation, she communicated this to Mia, who started expressing her appreciation more often. Their friendship deepened significantly. Takeaway. Understanding love languages in friendships helps prevent misunderstandings and strengthens emotional bonds. Love languages in family relationships. Family dynamics can be complicated, but knowing each family member's love language can improve emotional connection. How love languages apply in families. Parents and children. A child who values quality time may crave one-on-one activities, while another who values physical touch may feel most secure through hugs and cuddles. Siblings. Some siblings express love through acts of service, helping with homework, running errands, while others prefer receiving gifts, small surprises to show appreciation. Elderly parents. Many elderly parents feel deeply loved through quality time. A simple visit or phone call can mean the world to them. Example. James grew up feeling distant from his father, who never said, "I love you." Later, he realized his father's love language was acts of service. He always fixed things for James, helped him move, and supported him quietly. Once James recognized this, he learned to appreciate his father's way of expressing love rather than expecting verbal affirmations. Takeaway. Learning a family member's love language can help heal misunderstandings and build stronger bonds. Love languages in the workplace. While love languages are often seen as personal, they can also improve workplace relationships. How love languages apply in professional settings. Words of affirmation. Encouraging feedback, recognition for hard work. Acts of service. Helping a colleague with a project, covering a shift. Receiving gifts. Small tokens of appreciation, remembering special occasions. Quality time. One-on-one meetings, team bonding activities. Physical touch. Used professionally and appropriately, such as handshakes or supportive pats on the back. Example. Emma always felt undervalued at work because her boss rarely gave verbal recognition. When she discovered her love language was words of affirmation, she communicated her need for feedback. Her boss made an effort to acknowledge her efforts, and her job satisfaction improved significantly. Takeaway. Love languages in the workplace enhance team morale, increase job satisfaction, and create a more supportive and understanding work environment. Love languages and self-love. Your primary love language doesn't just apply to how others show love. It also reveals how you should care for yourself. Practicing self-love in your preferred love language can improve mental health, confidence, and emotional fulfillment. How to practice self-love based on your love language. Words of affirmation. Practice daily affirmations. Write letters to yourself. Acts of service. Set goals. Complete tasks that improve your well-being. Receiving gifts. Treat yourself to small things that bring joy. Quality time. Spend intentional time alone. Engage in hobbies. Physical touch. Get massages, stretch, practice deep breathing exercises. Example. Rachel often felt emotionally drained but never understood why. When she learned her love language was quality time, she realized she needed to spend more mindful, uninterrupted time with herself to recharge. Takeaway: understanding your own love language helps you practice intentional self-care and cultivate a healthier relationship with yourself. Case study: a family strengthened by love languages. The problem: Maria and her teenage son, Ethan, had a strained relationship. Ethan always felt unseen because Maria rarely spent time with him. Meanwhile, Maria didn't understand why Ethan didn't appreciate the gifts she gave him. The solution: Maria discovered that Ethan's love language was quality time, while hers was receiving gifts. Instead of giving him material things, Maria started dedicating weekly one-on-one time with Ethan, doing activities he enjoyed. The outcome: Ethan felt deeply valued and connected, and their relationship transformed into one of trust and closeness. Lesson: love languages apply beyond romance. They strengthen family bonds when understood and practiced. Conclusion: applying love languages in all areas of life. Love languages are not just for romantic relationships. They are a universal tool for building stronger, deeper, and more meaningful connections with friends, family, colleagues, and even yourself. By understanding how love is expressed and received across different relationships, you can improve communication and appreciation in friendships, heal misunderstandings within family dynamics, enhance workplace culture by fostering support and recognition, practice intentional self-care by speaking your own love language. In the next chapter, we will explore healing and growth through love languages, how these principles can repair broken relationships and foster emotional healing. Are you ready to learn how love languages can be used for restoration, forgiveness, and personal transformation? Let's continue. Chapter 9: Healing and Growth Through Love Languages. How love languages can repair and strengthen relationships. Every relationship experiences challenges, miscommunication, emotional disconnection, or unresolved conflicts. But love languages can be powerful tools for healing and rebuilding trust. When partners, family members, or friends feel unheard or unappreciated, it often stems from a lack of understanding of each other's love languages. By learning how to speak love in the way others receive it, relationships can be repaired, strengthened, and transformed. In this chapter, we will explore how love languages can heal past wounds and restore emotional intimacy, help overcome relationship conflicts, foster forgiveness and deeper connection, promote personal growth and self-discovery. Understanding and practicing intentional love creates a foundation of trust, security, and emotional healing. Healing emotional wounds through love languages. When a person experiences emotional neglect, trauma, or deep disappointments, their love language may hold the key to their healing process. Each love language provides a pathway to emotional recovery. Words of affirmation helps rebuild self-esteem and restore emotional security. Acts of service shows care and reliability, rebuilding lost trust. Receiving gifts reinforces feelings of being valued and remembered. Quality time creates meaningful connection and presence. Physical touch provides comfort, safety, and emotional closeness. Example: Emma grew up in a household where words were used harshly rather than lovingly. As a result, she struggled with self-worth. Later in life, hearing words of affirmation from her partner helped her heal from past emotional wounds and develop confidence in love. Lesson: love languages can be a healing force, helping individuals rebuild their sense of worth and connection. Using love languages to overcome relationship conflicts. Miscommunication is one of the biggest sources of relationship conflict. Many disagreements arise not from a lack of love, but from unspoken emotional needs. Here's how each love language helps resolve conflicts. Words of affirmation helps rebuild trust through apologies, appreciation, and positive communication. Acts of service shows commitment to change through meaningful actions, not just words. Receiving gifts serves as a symbol of reconciliation and effort. Quality time allows for open conversations and emotional reconnection. Physical touch rebuilds intimacy and restores feelings of security. Example: Tom and Lisa frequently fought because Lisa felt unappreciated, while Tom felt emotionally distant. After learning about love languages, Tom began expressing love through words of affirmation, while Lisa made an effort to spend more quality time together. Their conflicts dramatically reduced, and their bond grew stronger. Lesson: understanding love languages helps navigate conflicts with compassion and clarity. Forgiveness and rebuilding trust through love languages. Trust is fragile when it is broken, whether in a romantic relationship, friendship, or family. It takes time and intentional actions to rebuild. Love languages provide a roadmap to forgiveness and emotional restoration. How each love language helps rebuild trust. Words of affirmation: honest, heartfelt apologies, and affirming trust. Acts of service showing commitment through consistent, meaningful actions. Receiving gifts symbolizing new beginnings and appreciation. Quality time rebuilding emotional connection through presence. Physical touch restoring closeness and emotional security. Example: Daniel broke his wife's trust by prioritizing work over their marriage. She felt neglected. After learning her love language, quality time, he made a daily effort to spend intentional time with her. Over time, her trust in him was rebuilt through consistent effort. Lesson: love languages serve as tools for healing, allowing trust to be rebuilt through meaningful gestures. Using love languages for personal growth and self-healing. Love languages aren't just for others. They are also a path to self-love and emotional growth. Practicing self-love in your love language can help you heal, grow, and strengthen your emotional well-being. Words of affirmation: speak kindly to yourself. Practice positive self-talk. Acts of service: set goals. Take action to improve your life. Receiving gifts: treat yourself with small joys. Celebrate your achievements. Quality time: spend time alone. Practice mindfulness and self-reflection. Physical touch: engage in activities like yoga, massages, or self-care rituals. Example: Mia had struggled with self-worth for years. Once she realized her love language was words of affirmation, she began writing daily affirmations and surrounding herself with supportive people. This transformed her mindset and self-confidence. Lesson: understanding your own love language helps you practice intentional self-care and emotional growth. Case study: a marriage restored through love languages. The problem: David and Rachel had been married for 10 years, but had grown emotionally distant. Rachel often felt unloved, while David felt unappreciated despite his efforts. The solution: after learning about love languages, Rachel realized David's primary language was acts of service, while hers was words of affirmation. She started expressing gratitude for his efforts, while he made an effort to verbally affirm his love for her. The outcome: their marriage transformed. David felt recognized, and Rachel felt deeply valued. Through love languages, they restored their emotional connection. Lesson: even struggling relationships can be renewed through understanding and applying love languages. Conclusion: love languages as a tool for healing and transformation. Love languages are not just about expressing love. They're a blueprint for healing, restoring trust, and fostering personal growth. By understanding and practicing love languages, you can heal past emotional wounds, resolve conflicts with empathy and intention, rebuild trust in broken relationships, strengthen self-love and personal growth. In the final chapter, we will explore building a life of love and connection. How to apply love languages long-term for a more fulfilling life and deeper relationships. Are you ready to build lasting love and connection? Let's continue. Chapter 10. Building a life of love and connection. The journey toward lasting love and fulfillment. Love is not just about grand gestures or occasional words of affection. It is a daily practice, a commitment to understanding, and a lifelong journey. The beauty of love languages is that they provide a clear, actionable framework for strengthening relationships, deepening connections, and living a more fulfilling life. Now that we have explored the power of love languages in romantic relationships, friendships, family, the workplace, and self-love, this final chapter will focus on how to sustain and integrate these principles long-term. By making love languages a consistent part of your life, you can enhance emotional intimacy in all relationships, prevent misunderstandings and conflicts before they arise, create a life filled with deeper, more meaningful connections, The goal is not to simply learn love languages, but to live them. The key to lasting love: practicing love languages consistently. Love is not a one-time effort. It thrives on continuous investment and small, daily actions. Many relationships struggle because people assume love should be effortless. But the truth is, love must be nurtured daily. Love languages must be actively practiced. Love is a choice, not just a feeling. Example: imagine a couple that starts dating with deep passion, expressing love effortlessly. Over time, they assume love will remain strong without effort, and they stop expressing appreciation. Emotional distance forms, not because love disappeared, but because they stopped practicing it daily. Lesson: love languages should become a lifelong habit, not just something applied in moments of conflict or crisis. How to make love languages a natural part of your life. To truly integrate love languages, consider the following strategies. 1. Make love languages a habit, not an obligation. Don't just wait for a special occasion. Express love daily. Small gestures, a hug, a compliment, an act of service, make a difference. 2. Set love language reminders. Schedule regular check-ins with loved ones. Keep a list of your partner's or family's love language preferences. 3. Continue learning and growing. Over time, love languages may evolve. Keep adapting. Regularly ask loved ones how they feel most appreciated. 4. Balance your needs and your partner's needs. Speak your partner's love language, but also express your own needs. Relationships flourish when both people feel valued and heard. Building a love language culture in your home and relationships. Love languages don't just improve relationships, they transform family cultures, friendships, and workplaces. In romantic relationships, prioritize regular expressions of love based on your partner's language. Avoid assuming that love is understood without being shown. Keep your connection strong even during difficult times. In family relationships, teach love languages to children to help them express and receive love effectively. Foster deeper family bonds by recognizing each other's emotional needs. In friendships, appreciate friends in the way they feel most valued. Keep friendships strong by checking in and making time for each other. In the workplace, create a culture of appreciation and acknowledgement. Foster teamwork through understanding and recognizing colleagues' needs. The role of love languages in a changing world. We live in a world that is more digitally connected yet emotionally disconnected than ever. Many people feel lonely, unheard, or undervalued, not because they lack relationships, but because meaningful connection is missing. Love languages are a solution. By applying these principles, we can create deeper, more fulfilling relationships in an age of distraction, strengthen family and community bonds, foster a culture of empathy, appreciation, and love in every area of life. Example: in a world where people feel unseen, a simple act of kindness, a genuine compliment, or a moment of undivided attention can make an extraordinary impact. Lesson: love languages are not just about personal relationships. They help heal communities and strengthen human connection worldwide. Final reflection: the love language blueprint for a fulfilling life. The journey of love languages is more than just understanding how to express love. It is about building a life centered on love, appreciation, and meaningful connection. As you move forward, remember, love must be practiced daily. It is a choice, not just a feeling. Love languages are a tool for deeper understanding, not a rigid system. Love is the foundation of every fulfilling relationship, romantic, familial, friendships, and beyond. By committing to practicing love languages with consistency and intention, you create a life filled with stronger relationships, deeper emotional connections, and lasting joy. Are you ready to apply the love language blueprint to build a life of love and fulfillment? The journey starts today. Conclusion: your next steps. As we close this book, I encourage you to identify the love languages of the important people in your life. Make daily efforts to express love in ways they understand. Communicate your own love language needs openly. Continue growing, learning, and deepening your relationships. Love languages are not just a concept. They are a blueprint for stronger, more fulfilling relationships. By practicing them daily, you will create a life rich in love, appreciation, and emotional depth. The journey doesn't end here. It begins with the next action you take. Final words: the journey of love and connection. Love languages are not just about understanding love. They are about living it with intention, consistency, and purpose. By applying these principles, you can create a life filled with stronger relationships, deeper emotional connections, and lasting joy. This is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter in how you love, connect, and build meaningful relationships. Now, it's time to take action. Go out and express love in ways that truly matter. The love language blueprint is now yours to live.